Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for being here. Hope everybody in the US had a nice Thanksgiving weekend. Hope it was a long, restful one. I just got done listening to the latest podcast as they did take a week off for Thanksgiving. Good for them. And we are talking about the season finale of season 1. And I do agree with what they said. There was so much going on in this particular episode. It's almost as if they were making sure that if they did not get renewed for season 2 back then, that this episode would have kind of wrapped things up to a point. But yeah, so much happens in this episode, and I can't wait to get into it. So let's see what my reactions are this time around. I always love that opening line about how a group of ravens means trouble, but a raven met before battle means victory. Dan's motivational speech before the game. I wonder, does he think he's a motivational speaker or a good one? Or is he trying? I know that's just his way, but it's always just so shocking to me how, Paul really committed to this role because every line he has is just, you really love to hate Dan. He does that role very well. Oh my God, looking at Haley's cell phone, it says singular. Raise your hands if you remember that cell phone company. Oh, talk about dating myself. Good Lord. And then Dan's little, what was that to Haley? If you're going to manipulate Nathan, you should aim higher. What is that? What is that? And the fact that he saw her tattoo and then he has the audacity to be like, oh, real classy. You're the freaking definition of classy. You're the trashiest person inside I know. When Mouth is like, oh, Dan Scott's filling in for Whitey. Not sure who signed off on that one, but let's hope Coach Durham gets well soon. Shade. Okay, so in regards to what Dan tells Deb about, oh, I was really going to leave you for Karen, but you told me you were pregnant. And essentially saying, I didn't love you, I loved her more. I want to believe he's being honest, but I have a feeling this is a very sociopathic thing to say. It's a very manipulative thing to say because regardless of him saying, yeah, you can have the divorce, he's still mad that she's the one that instigated this and she's the one that wanted to leave. His ego is still hurt. So I'm kind of wondering, okay, is this really, did you really love her more? Or are you just trying to get that one last jab into Deb? Because I feel like it might be both. Maybe he did love Karen more, but at the same time, this is his last jab to her or messing with her mind or whatever. Because it's a very socio thing to do. So, yes, either way, it sucks. And I agree when, Deb goes back to the game and sits next to Karen. That's deep. I agree. The whole thing with Nathan saying you're threatened by a sexual relationship. I don't think it was fully that, but I get why he said that, dumb boy. But anyway, the whole other parts of those speech was pretty sweet. The Naley moments and the kissing in the rain. Here we go. Dan saying to the team when they're like, let's win it for Whitey. And he's like, forget about the old man. You're such an asshole, Dan. It's right when I think you can't just piss me off more. You rise to the occasion. The no name on your jersey part from Dan to Lucas. I like that moment. So Dan, Lucas trying to be like, hey, thanks for saving my life. I talked to my mom and he's like, you should be on the floor. Go run your spreads. Okay. Oh, I totally forgot about the whole Nikki, Brooke, Peyton thing in this episode. Saw the subterfuge. Love it. Okay, so the whole Karen Keith moment, I understand where they're both coming from, but as a woman, I have to say, I get a little annoyed with guys that kind of put it on the woman and try to make them feel bad for the decisions that they made. And it's dude, you're a grown-ass man. Nobody held a gun to your head. Nobody told you to stay in this town. You stayed hoping that something would happen. And now you're I mean, you're almost making her feel bad because she doesn't, return those feelings. And it's like, so many guys do this. Like, even women are, women can definitely be, do it too. But I'm just saying, like, from a woman's perspective, I've been through this, and it's like, how are you going to blame me for your decisions? Like, I don't blame you for mine. So it's like, I feel for Karen in that moment. But then it's like, he does make a good point that she hasn't had any serious relationships. So it's like, it's very complicated, and I get that. But it's just like, that whole thing just kind of irritates me, because it's like, it's not her responsibility to make you feel better for the decision that you made. It's such a contrast from where she was like, I will never trust you again, to now she's like, I'm trusting you, so I'm letting Lucas go with you, Keith. It's like total 180 in a very short amount of time. But I guess that's her way of kind of showing, like, I do love you. It's just not the way you want it. How nice was it when Lucas got pushed by the opposing team's player and knocked to the ground that Nathan came to his defense? Aw, cute. I'm always torn when Peyton tells Brooke about where Jenny went. I mean, it's a very high school thing to do, but it's such an important secret, and she already feels like she screwed up with Jake to begin with. I mean, and her and Brooke had just become, like, kind of friends again, and I just find it really surprising that she did tell her. I guess it was her way of, like, showing the I'm trusting you olive branch. I don't know, but it's conflicting. Oh my god, Dan, like, pressuring Lucas to play is disgusting. It reminds me of the Not Another Teen movie when the coach is like, can he play? Coach, he's cut in half. Can he play? Or no, he's got a concussion. Yeah, like, oh my god, like, it's so stupid. Like, this, ugh. Again, just when I think it can't get more annoying with Dan, he rises to the occasion, never ceases to amaze. The whole Lucas and Nathan going to see Whitey before the game, and this is awe moment, my heart. Oh my god, like, I'm glad that Haley punched Lucas. I know she was scared, but he really did deserve it. And I'm still not ever sure if he's, like, really going away to better himself, or if he's running away from his mistakes by going to Charleston. But I did love it in the podcast when, Haley's sitting there like, who's going to go thrift store shopping? I can't speak today. With me and all these other things. And then, like, Hillary was like, me. Oh, the disappointment of that throw from Lucas and losing the game. The disappointment was real. But really, with Dan as your coach, it's kind of bound to happen that you'd lose. From a teenager's point of view, it'd be one of those things like, hey, at least you're moving out of town, right? Oh my god, Dan's ranting and raving in the locker room. I like when he says, I can wait all night for an answer, Nathan. I have nowhere else to be. I just wanted someone to be like, yeah, you know why you have nowhere else to be? Because everyone in your life left your ass. But at least Nathan called him out on the whole Lucas shouldn't have been in the game anyway because of his shoulder, which is true. I do love that Nathan just totally calls out Dan, and he's like, we played hard. We have nothing to be ashamed of except our coach. And he takes his last name off his jersey. Love it. And then that brotherly fist bump between Nathan and Lucas. That was just an extra knife to Dan. Excellent. Can we just say Lucas and Nathan's fist bump was more heartfelt than the goodbye talk that Dan and Keith just had? So if Haley knew she was getting married when she said checked on Lucas after the game and they were saying goodbye, it almost makes that goodbye even more painful. Can we just side note how amazing Deb always looks? She just looks so luscious. Lucas and Whitey's goodbye, and the writers making us think that something else is going to happen to Whitey. No. Okay, so Dan looks like he has a real moment of emotion when he sees Keith and Deb, and clearly they just slept together. So like, I'm so conflicted because it's like, first off, Dan, why are you walking into the house that, it's not your house anymore? You and Deb are divorced. She got the house. Why are you here? Why are you just walking in places, okay? And then it's just like, I don't really feel bad for him because, I mean, shoot, it's the least he deserves. And that's seriously one of my favorite parts of this whole season. It's one of them. Well, this episode for sure. But it's just like, I don't feel bad for you, dude. But I think you see his face just get actual, like, real emotion. But he seems more mad, I think. I love that Brooke did come through with Peyton with, not telling Nikki where Jake really went, because I remember like watching that even on the rewatch. I totally forgot. I was so conflicted and so like just like, you didn't really just tell her, did you? So I'm just always so glad, because like, you never know, high school girls, when they've been wrong, they can really mess you up. They can really lie really well. So I'm just glad that it didn't turn out that way. Okay, Dan's whole anger at Keith for sleeping with Deb is, again, confusing to me, because it's like, okay, are you mad because you loved her? Because you just sat there and said that you didn't love her, really in love with her. And now you're like super mad. So I feel like it's more of a male domination thing. Like, oh, she was mine and now you slept with it. It's like, I don't know. I swear, Dan is like the definition of a toxic male. Oh my God, Lucas and Nathan calling each other brothers. And I like how Luke is like, I'll miss you too, little brother. Oh, there is only one tree hill. That's the speech Karen gave it. I love you, my boy. So sweet. Brooke and Peyton waking up together, and they're just like, it's like a renewed friendship at that point. And the letter on the door, it's got to be from Lucas. I feel like it's from Lucas. I don't know. And I was just like conflicted by that, because I was just like, really? Like, I get why he would tell them in a letter, but like, I don't. It's like, okay, so I always, even though they talked about it on the podcast, I always forget that Dan's gonna like have a heart attack at the end of this episode. And it's like, okay, does his love for Deb make him so angry and volatile, or is it the fact that he lost again to his big brother Keith? That's what I think it is, because that's what socios really care about, is what pertains to them and how it makes them look or feel. True to Dan form, even when the man is dying and needs someone else's help, he's still making threats. You better hope I die. And you know what? Number one, Deb is a damn good person, because I don't know if a lot of people would have made the choice she made to help him, especially after he said some shit like that. Oh my God, the whole scene with Lucas and Haley and Nathan. It's like, it's the cutest. It's like my favorite part of this episode. Yes. He's so judgy though. He's like, I thought you were going to wait till you got married. She's like, we did, bitch. All in all, it's a very good cliffhanger season 1 ending. So lots happened, but yeah, that's it for me, guys. If you enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe. Hi to my new subscribers, and I will see you next week.